It's gone quiet.
And no wonder. The straight line speed I could cope with, but in the corners, I just couldn't think fast enough to react.
The cliff! Good, Hammond, to trust it!
It's just there's so much to learn. I can't drive fast enough to get the heat in the brakes, and then there's no brakes. I've just grappled with, what, 500 brake horsepower and a 500 kilo car, and I'm halfway there.
I was summoned to look at the readouts from my onboard telemetry.
You're riding the brake and you're riding the accelerator, believe it or not.
Is this because I'm doing left foot braking?
Yeah, and then the other thing is you've been quite severe on one of the downshifts and you've actually put 8.5 on the motor.
If I'd done what I did on that lap in a Formula One car, what would have happened?
You'd have probably spun it and wrecked the engine.
What's an engine rebuild on a Formula One car?
Probably about 150, 200,000 more.
I needed lots more time in the World Series car, but that wasn't going to happen. Because my muscles were struggling to cope with the cornering forces.
He's going to come off, and I'm not joking.
His neck will go soon, so he needs to drive the Formula One.
Before I moved on, Yoda gave me a pep talk.
Everything you experienced in the World Series car is probably going to be more than 3 times as much, maybe more, in the Formula One.
I was running, my thinking time, that was my problem. When I had a bit of an off, it's because I thought I'd left it too late to brake, then I realised I hadn't. But because I was thinking that, the car was already round the corner and I was in the wrong gear and I span.
Yeah.
I can't think fast enough, more than anything else.
You're going to have to really concentrate, Richard, especially with that thing. If you think that's hard, that's going to be another level.
My fear wasn't just about the speed. It was about what I was going to be entrusted with.
The more time you spend hanging around with one of these things, the more otherworldly it becomes. I mean, let's talk about the money, because we can all understand that, right? The engine, £170,000. The gearbox casing, with no gears in it, £60,000. The wing, £20,000. But those are all the big bits. It's still off this planet when you get to the little bits and pieces you've got on your car at home. So, the wheel nut, look, there it is, 500 quid. And then for the socket to remove it, £1,000. And look, the mirror, it's just that little thing, 800 quid. And the steering wheel, £30,000. And it isn't just the money either. This thing is not just expensive, it's quite incredibly fragile and highly strung. So the engine, the tolerances in here are so fine that when it's cold, it's effectively seized solid. You can't start it cold, it has to be heated up. And they do that by constantly pumping warm water around it when it's in the pits at 80 degrees. And you can't put cold oil in either. It has to be warm and fed intravenously. It's like it's on a life support machine. That's snug. If you're 10, I'm doing this on your behalf. You're in here with me. So now I've got control of the throttle. That's me. Dear God, that's me revving a Formula One engine.
The eyes of the whole F1 team were upon me. This was it. It had taken me a minute to do 40 feet.
Where am I going? Are we going all the way back in? Is it all enough? Here's the problem with this stalling. I know it's very funny and everything, but the car has a system, because if you're stalling F1, it's a disaster. So as you're setting off, if it thinks you haven't got enough power, it just cuts the clutch in again. And you just look an idiot.
It's 8 anti-stalls.
8 anti-stalls.
That's a record then, isn't it?
After the team had laughed at me and warmed the tyres to make them more grippy, they sent me on my way.
Oh God. It feels totally different to the other car. Totally different. Turning left, my God, I'm in a Formula One car. I'm going to try the throttle and see it. Oh my God! Oh my God!
half a lap I'd managed, the car had made a big impression.
It's absolutely the most glorious machine in the world.
Wait till you get into second.
I'm going as fast as I feel I can, and it's not fast enough to keep heating the tyres, which means I've got no grip, let alone no downforce. If I go a bit faster than that, that means there'll still be no heat in the tyres and no downforce, and I'm going even faster and I will crash. The only way from where I am now is a lot faster. Then I'll have heat in the tyres and grip, and I won't crash.
And to make things worse, the man with my telemetry was hardly a bag of laughs.
There's a big gap between where you're lifting off and when you're braking. So you should be coming straight off the accelerator and going straight on the brakes straight away.
Right.
There's no need to have that big gap in there.
Did you say a big gap? How big a gap is it?
Half a second between you lifting off
Massive, is it?
before you go in the brakes. It should be straight away.
He was right though. If I was going to do 2 laps in this thing, I had to dig deep.
I've got to think about everything I've learned. It's just going mental. There's no temperature in the brakes. They feel like they're not working. Oh, this is every dream.
I'd done a lap, just one more.
Turning in. Oh, it's beautiful.
I suspect the chief mechanic had seen better, but as far as I was concerned, driving God.
And the most scary thing in the whole world. The last corner is coming up. I'm braking. It's turning left. I'm in second. I'm going to nail it for the line.